Of course, Ripple was just meeting with the Central Bank of Brazil not too long ago. You know, the Reserve Bank Governor of India was also speaking at Ripple's swell. And if you think that's crazy, well, King Solomon also found proof that the Central Bank of Russia had a successful testing of XRP, the digital asset, for use in multinational payment systems. What's up, guys? Happy Friday. Kevin Cage here with another cryptocurrency update. We're going to dive into XRP, ALGO, a variety of assets, and another strong asset that has been flying under the radar for far too long. I highly recommend you stick around for all of this one. So first things first, we have LimeWire taking us back to the old days where we used to pirate music online with LimeWire, FrostWire. I'm guilty of that. And they've raised over $10 million in a private token sale. Why am I covering this? Because they have integrations with Algorand and they have some massive investors. Check this out. Arrington Capital, who killed it with Terra Luna, XRP, Polkadot, Algorand. He's also invested in Casper. We also have Kraken Ventures, GSR, another huge organization, Hivemind, and Crypto.com. So keep an eye on this project. You can learn more on their blog. So could we potentially see a LimeWire token being listed on Kraken, Crypto.com because they're backing it? Very possible. They're going to use these funds and strong connections within the crypto and music industry to grow their team, extend partnerships, support artists, and curate high-quality content on their platform. So it's a LimeWire token. The ticker is going to be LMWR. It's going to sit at the heart of this LimeWire ecosystem. And further down the line, the holders are going to have a fundamental role in deciding which up-and-coming artists are supported by LimeWire and featured on the marketplace. Now I'm bringing this up because Arrington's backing Algorand, and notice that LimeWire selected Algorand's blockchain, a carbon-negative blockchain, also in my opinion ISO compliant, for the relaunch of its digital collectibles marketplace. And Algorand is going to be powering this energy-efficient NFT ecosystem on LimeWire, along with a token launch later this year. It's great to see other blockchain networks, instead of just Ethereum, diving into the NFT ecosystem. We still have a long way to go, but I'm rooting for ALGO. We actually have this brand new music NFT streaming platform spelled S-I-K-I. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it because I'll butcher it, but we can see they are live in the App Store for NFT music streaming. You can upload your music and then you allow users to stream and then even tip the artists. You can earn crypto instantly with multi-chain capabilities, which is the future. It seems like they're going to be interoperable with the hashtags right here, Hedera, we have Matic, and ALGO. Next up, you guys may or may not like this. I am not a fan of this gentleman. I don't want to say his name, but he invested into Polysign. So Polysign announced its acquisition of MG Stover Company, creating the world's largest vertically integrated full-service digital asset fund administrator. Oh, and speaking of GSR, we actually just mentioned them earlier. And who's Polysign? Polysign.io is the website, and I believe they have deep ties with the XRP ledger. And why do I think that, besides building the future of digital assets? It's because right on their website, they're side by side, the founders of the XRP ledger, co-founder Arthur Brito, we have David Schwartz, and then we also have some big heavy hitters such as Antoinette, previously the chief compliance officer at Ripple, background at HSBC, MUFG, huge organizations. And of course, PFG, what do they call it? The shadow group, Promontory Financial Group. And then Tim Keeney, custodying 1/4 of global institutional assets, Bank of New York, is also a Ripple partner. And then Jack McDonald, one of the legends of industry. Now I want to share a few other things before we discuss this altcoin that is flying under the radar. So first things first, I retweeted Wrath Economist's post right here, going over Brad Garlinghouse talking about Ripple, the company, having record growth despite 0 contracts in the United States. They're already operating in the worst case scenario, and the SEC case is going, in quotes, exceedingly well. Now somebody's going to be like, oh, 0 contracts in the US. Well, again, per the stats, and I'm going to be conservative here, the majority of Ripple partners, Ripple users today for on-demand liquidity and RippleNet, and all of the payment volume exists out of the United States. So over 80% of the companies that are using RippleNet and ODL today exist outside of the United States. What's even crazier is that over 80% of the volumes, the payment volumes that they're going after, exist outside of the United States. It almost seems like they planned it from the beginning. Maybe it's just a big coincidence, but it's funny that they built it from the ground up because they knew the United States has not provided regulatory clarity for many digital assets. And then just friendly reminder, look at the Ripple advisors, the board. We have Rosie Rios, the 43rd treasurer of the United States. Her signature is on more currency in circulation than anybody in the world. They have former CFTC chairman, Christopher Giancarlo, and then of course now Michael Barr, who is a Ripple advisor. And he's a Ripple advisor, and this just came out last week. Statement from President Biden on his intent to nominate Michael Barr to serve as the vice chair for supervision of the Federal Reserve. This gentleman is on the board of Ripple. We know there's a lot of crypto companies that are lobbying in Washington, and I pay attention to that. Whatever your thoughts are about XRP, good, bad, that's fine. But you can't deny that Ripple, the company, has a very, very strong team and very strong connections. Also had to share this by Ian Binns, and I'm going to tie it into something else, so check this out. Egypt has become a new member of the BRICS nations, the New Development Bank members. BRICS was originally Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. These are the biggest nations in the world, and they do have a lot of ties to the XRP ledger specifically. Of course, Ripple was just meeting with the Central Bank of Brazil not too long ago. You know, the Reserve Bank Governor of India was also speaking at Ripple's swell. And if you think that's crazy, well, King Solomon also found proof that the Central Bank of Russia had a successful testing of XRP, the digital asset, for use in multinational payment systems. He uploaded this video back in December, and you can see that it's not just Ripple or the protocol or RippleNet, it includes XRP all over this document. Is that a coincidence? So now we have eBRICS in this acronym. I'm not sure what we should call it now. But as we scroll down, we notice that their new members also include Bangladesh, the UAE, which of course Ripple the company has a regional headquarters right in Dubai, mainly because a lot of US companies are getting out of the United States because of the lack of regulatory clarity. And they're actually right in this DIFC hub. Now there are hundreds, I think maybe even 2,000 different companies in this little fintech hub. This is the prime area, the prime real estate to be at. Kind of like Miami is now the United States crypto hub and all these huge companies and big names are living there. This is how I feel about Dubai. It is just ripe with opportunity. And this whole BRICS New Development Bank is about financing sustainable development and infrastructure projects. And to be clear, all of these countries want to get away from SWIFT. We're talking decades-old technology to send money across borders internationally, and it still takes 3 to 5 days. The average remittance rate is still over 6% to send money. That's absurd. It should be a fraction of a penny or even approaching near zero and be instantaneous and reliable. They're still sending huge wire transfers globally and losing the money altogether. How can that happen? It is 2022. And does Egypt have any connections to Ripple or RippleNet? So this is back in 2021. There's a variety of articles, but Egypt's largest bank joins RippleNet for cross-border payments. And Egypt is in the top 5 nations globally in terms of remittance flows from expat countries. Seems like the perfect RippleNet partner, along with being the perfect partner to join this New Development Bank members. And even on Ripple's website that happened all the way back in May, we can see the National Bank of Egypt and Lulu International Exchange connect through RippleNet to elevate remittance experience into Egypt. We've also gone on those Egypt websites of the banks and they literally show RippleNet right on their homepage. With a large diaspora employed abroad in the Gulf states, including the UAE, we can see Egypt received $24 billion in remittances in 2020 alone. One of the top 5 remittance recipients globally after India, China, Mexico, and the Philippines. Funny that we already have ODL corridors in Mexico and the Philippines. We have nearly 24 live on-demand liquidity corridors. We just need more volume, we need regulatory clarity, we need the adoption of this technology on a grander scale. We also have a really cool study shared by Roth IRA. This is a small study out of Malaysia that found more respondents reportedly investing into XRP than Ethereum, second only to Bitcoin. Check this out. You can see Bitcoin at 45.9%, Ethereum at 35.5%, and XRP at over 37%. Actually in front of Tether, Litecoin, Polkadot, Binance, and of course Doge, I'd hope. Okay, now let's get into the good stuff here. We're going to be discussing Everest ID today. The ticker on coinmarketcap.com is ID, and I recommend going and checking the actual contract address and confirming it's the same on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. Now, Matthew LINY, a huge XRP community member, always sending me good information. He actually sent this as a DM last year. Now, he shared this in June. Everest secures a VFA license to provide regulated DeFi globally. Everest received regulatory approval for its globally programmable stablecoin CRDT, enabling cross-border payments and fiat on and off ramps worldwide. Jamie XRP, another good buddy of mine, massive project flying under the radar. And also, Jamie, thank you for sending me this whiskey last week. So let's talk a little bit about Everest. So we can see this is a blockchain. Everest is a next generation blockchain company that enables the full suite of financial services, including user and business account creation with eKYC or electronic know your customer compliance and regulatory compliant transaction tracking and validation. They received a virtual financial assets license for its use of its stablecoin CRDT from the Maltese Financial Services Authority, MFSA. Sounds a lot like XRP because XRP XRP by the Financial Conduct Authority, FCA, of the United Kingdom said XRP is not a security. Same thing with the Japanese FSA. I'm not sure if it's Financial Services Authority, but it's good to see because Malta is a crypto safe haven, already giving regulatory clarity to be used in DeFi globally. I want to emphasize that. Globally. In receiving this VFA license, Everest is the first in the world to provide a fully regulated, programmable stablecoin and integrated infrastructure for global value transfer. This license allows Everest users to make cross-border payments without needing to obtain additional licenses. Everest ID seems like the perfect partner to have in the crypto space. So now end users, banks, and other financial institutions are now able to send payments and invest in DeFi faster and more cost effectively than any other platform by leveraging their utility token, the CRDT, along with Everest's eKYC, which is the future, wallet, and ledger. White label partners and customers are also enabled to use the platform as a fiat in and out ramp in multiple jurisdictions. So this virtual financial assets license is absolutely crucial for the future. It authorizes Everest to hold and control clients' assets or money with respect to virtual financial assets to both accredited and retail investors and clients, and in connection with the following services: executive orders on behalf of others, custodial and nominee services. Bob Reed, the CEO and co-founder of Everest, in quotes, "With this licensing, Everest is now subject to meticulous regulations affirming to our customers that our platform is following all legal requirements of a crypto service provider." Everest is the world's first only device-free, globally accessible digital transaction protocol with a built-in identity. Through the use of these digital identities, or DIDs, and I think Everest ID is the perfect ticker, ID, electronic wallets, document management, and biometrics, users will also be able to digitally verify their identity for public services and claim their social and economic rights. So this is not financial advice whatsoever, but Everest is at 14 cents today with a $16 million market cap and a VFA license to operate DeFi globally. Looking at their website, they're partnered with a variety of groups. We can see Kyber Network. We also noticed that KNC was one of the assets creating an all-time high not too long ago. We have Matic, we have Chainlink, we have Ocean. I love Ocean. Ethereum, Aave, Visa. We have this bank, BRI or BRI. This is an Indonesian bank, and I'm going to show you something interesting that they're doing in Indonesia. We also have Kina Bank right here. And Kina is the longest established registered stockbroker in Papua New Guinea. I had to look up how to pronounce Papua. So speaking of Everest and looking at some of their partners, you can read more about their solutions and go through their website, understanding their token, their actual digital solutions for virtual asset service providers, e-governments, health and identity, humanitarian efforts, etc. And of course, banking. I want you to pay attention to that. Cross-border payments. Your global everything account. So we have crypto and fiat accounts, buy, sell, trade, pay anywhere, anytime, any currency. We can see Everest ID side by side, Ethereum, Link, Ocean, and some other fiat on-ramps. Definitely a lot to look at. Now check this out, and big shout out to Matthew, LINY, for this one. We can see that Indonesian, remember we just talked about that Bank BRI or BRI, leverages Everest platform to streamline subsidy programs. This pilot demonstrated almost 100% accuracy, effectively eliminating leakage. Real-time settlement of tokenized vouchers and stablecoins with bank accounts, biometric verification plus cryptographically signed transactions guaranteeing the efficiency of cash transfer. We also see that settlement was conducted with no failure with Bank BRI or BRI savings account over this actual API. Other Indonesian ministries are reviewing results for interoperable usage with health, voting, education, nutrition. These digital identity solutions are going to be crucial for the future. The more proof of concepts we do, the more that this infrastructure is built out, the sooner we can see Web3 actually become a reality. This is a cool stat. 2 to 3 billion people in the world are separated from the global economy. This is kind of like what Ripple says with the unbanked and underbanked populations. 2 to 3 billion people. And some people have more than one bank account, and some people may have more than one crypto wallet. These are a lot of accounts. And a lot of these people also have devices or IoT devices to consider. So yeah, that number gets really big. We've essentially created a 21st century bank for emerging markets, helping the unbanked. And just so you guys know, this BRI bank is the largest bank in Indonesia, and I've been to Indonesia before. So Everest's device-free biometric identity platform with cashless end-to-end value transfer technology is an ideal solution for cash transfer in emerging markets, with funding from ID 2020. Where did we see that? We actually saw it right on their partners list, ID 2020, right on everest.org. So the largest bank of Indonesia is looking at Everest's technology, and it's a $16 million market cap. Now, of course, if Bitcoin were at like 39K, if it goes lower, yeah, it's going to suck the market down. But this asset is super interesting to me. So Everest presented a proposal to the government of Indonesia to work in conjunction with BRI to address a pressing desire to reduce leakage, biometrically verify users, and yield efficiencies in the LPG gas subsidy program, which eventually hopes to expand it across the breadth of Indonesia's population, which is massive. We're talking about a market, globally as well, of underbanked populations of 2 to 3 billion people. So in this Indonesian LPG subsidy program, they recognize the potential for a good digital identity platform to give users greater control over their own information while improving access to subsidies. And this should continue on and facilitate the adoption of good digital identity platforms and solutions. I also see that Coinbase.com has a little, webpage, how to buy Everest, but keep in mind this is standard for almost every single asset that's not even listed on Coinbase yet. Next up, guys, Liquidmarketplace Io. They have tokenized collectibles, so you can own a fraction or co-own a fraction of anything. We can see that the LeBron James rookie card has been sold out, $150,000 market value. I love the dashboard. Right now, we have a lot of popular trading cards. I saw this Charizard, this Pokemon card, sell out immediately, so there's a lot of demand for this bad boy. I love seeing the order books. You can set limit sells, market buys, keep track of everything and see the wallet, fund it with fiat or crypto. And this platform is likely going to be one of the biggest collectibles platforms in the future. And they're still in beta, so they're constantly getting feedback from different users, and they're always improving. And last but not least, I wanted to share iTrustCapital linked in the YouTube video description. It's completely free, and if you do fund your account, you also get $100 in free Bitcoin. We can see they have officially surpassed over $5 billion in the crypto IRA transactions for individual retirement accounts. I personally have a Roth IRA here in this platform in crypto that is tax-free. All of the gains. So instead of paying 40% or 20% in long or short-term capital gains, I pay 0% in taxes leveraging this platform. And I'm really happy that I got my old Roth IRA, and you don't have to take all of it, but in my case I did because I'm a believer in crypto and Web3. I took all of it and put it into iTrustCapital, and let's just say that my returns have been significantly higher than what I would have done in just the stock market. And I can always go back into USDC and take profit if I want, or go back into USD, buy the dip, trade 24/7. Everything is settled within seconds. And if I make any crazy profits over the next 10 years in crypto, because this is one of my long-term bags, I have no issue with taking those profits, either sitting on the sidelines or taking them and reallocating them into some other type of index fund. If you're making a 5 or 10x with a Roth IRA, a traditional IRA, or a 401k from your employer, you shouldn't have any issue whatsoever with taking profits. You don't have to go all into crypto. You have some people that are super conservative, like Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful. He says that I think crypto or maybe his Bitcoin holdings is like 5% of his portfolio allocation. So nothing crazy. Me, I'm a lot heavier. I'm a little crazier. But it makes sense for him because, he's essentially a billionaire, if not close to it. And of course, he wants to de-risk. So you can find this iTrustCapital link right in the video description. And if you use this link, you also get $100 in free Bitcoin. There's no monthly fees. There's no catches. And it's just great to see that they have surpassed over $5 billion in crypto transactions. But all right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. Again, thanks to all that like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.